We're live. Hello. Hello. I see. Oh, hi. I see Tiger. Brr, Tiger. Cindy and Deborah and Tammy. I just saw Tammy today.
Stephanie
is here. I'll have you know, I am going to that sale tonight after this is over.
Miss Vintage Freak 32.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Stephanie is on Instagram, Vintage Freak, and she's having her and Vintage Bulldog are having a sale tonight. And Stephanie has mermaids.
Shh, Misty, don't put that out there. Don't.
I'm just gonna say.
Competition.
I'm just gonna say. Oh, and Daniel's here. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Pamela, Jolene.
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that Kara's here, Cindy Lou, Dee, Bree. I'm pretty sure that everyone probably knows, but we're just going to, Randy girl, we're just going to, we'll do our introductions like we always do, but welcome everybody to the Vintage Rescue Squad. We do this every Monday night. We just kind of chat. I was telling my friends, these friends of mine earlier, we just kind of go with the flow. I don't really have necessarily anything planned to talk about. We just kind of go with what you guys maybe are wanting to talk about. I have a couple things in mind, but I am Misty, and then I'm going to go opposite.
Well, it's about time, Michelle. I mean, my God, I could smell you over here.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that Michelle has showered finally.
That's a good thing.
We kept hearing about the wipe down. I'm glad All right. I'm going to start with this gal next to me, and I'll have her do a little introduction.
Well, hey guys, I'm Katie from Vintage and Vinyl. I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you tonight. And of course, when I'm not eating some strange 1950s Jell-O, I'm talking vintage and rockin' records on my YouTube channel every week.
Yes, yeah, and Katie's pretty brave. She has eaten some pretty nasty things.
Oh, it's gross.
Hey,
an iron stomach.
And
I didn't watch that. Did you eat Spam?
No. Now Jeffrey likes him a good Jell-O mold, but I
really
don't.
do.
Spam.
Spam is
it's
good.
Gross.
Spam is good, but this one was awful. It had kidney beans and
Jeffrey.
Not in Jell-O.
Onions.
Jell-O merch. Jell-O merch.
That's actually really iconic. I mean, I think we could do that, like a mold.
Yes, there might be something in the works soon.
And then when you wear it,
you're going to do that?
Head of your face. Yeah. Oh my God.
You got to go like this so you can jiggle. That would work better for some than others.
Yes, that's good.
I got my Thrift U merch on tonight.
Oh, that's fun.
Thrift U, little bit hoarder, a little bit rock and roll.
That's a fun.
Ooh, Karen said she ate Spam today. Spam is good.
Fried Spam is good.
Okay, but what is it?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
It's pork byproduct that's put in a whole bunch of salt to preserve it. Because come Armageddon, we all gonna be eating Spam. It never goes bad.
Fry it. It's good. Hey, Emma girl. My Emma's here.
Emma.
Oh, Fatbird Finds is in the house. There they are.
Oh.
Hello. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the introduction of the fella right underneath of Katie. And nobody knows who he is, but I'll let him.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Jeffrey, Real Nifty Vintage, and I'm here to party, I guess. What do we want me to say?
He's here to party.
I'm here to party.
He's here to party. Jeffrey's Real Nifty Vintage, and he's actually having a sale this Wednesday instead of he's having a sale during my normal time slot because I am taking Wednesday off.
Yeah, Misty got to 20,000. Is that right? Yeah, 20,000. I want to make sure I got that. Somebody mentioned it in the comment, and I got to 26,000.
Like we did
at the same time.
Yeah,
that's so exciting. Congrats.
Wow, Katie, we're hanging out with the cool kids.
You are. You should be.
Now.
You're privileged.
No.
I'm just a pretty face, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead, Michael. Let's tell everybody who you are.
I'm Michael Todd. I'm officially, guess what? I'm officially the cult of vintage on YouTube now. It is true.
He has a channel.
It's official.
That doesn't have any videos.
I was going to say it doesn't have any content yet. But
Soon, right?
Yes, very soon. And it's going to be, I hope it to be, honestly, I really want it to be funny. I want people to laugh because I think that that is the greatest unifier. And I think that that is what we most need in life, especially during difficult times and in good times, is laughter. Laughter really, truly is the best medicine. And trust me, I'm a mess in real life. So you'll definitely get a laugh or two out of it.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, laughter is the best medicine. That's
It really is, especially during these dark times.
Yeah. Well, and this year's been, I think that we've all been benefited. Everybody in this community has benefited on, someone just kind of being there and making you laugh and I don't know, just making you feel nice.
Yeah, the chats are great for that. It's always uplifting, nice sense of camaraderie and community, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I saw someone had asked, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but yes, tomorrow Michael and Michelle and I are having our Three's Company sale. Ooh.
Come knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, and I think Michelle's going to sell one. She's going to sell something. She's going to sell something. Well, some things that are the same thing, but they're good. They're good. Something. She's had surgery, but she's going to be there. She's going to be there with us. She's not going to be driving this time, but she's going to be there. She's going to be there. It was Pamela. Okay, Pamela, great. All right, yeah, 1:00 tomorrow on my channel, 1:00 Eastern will be the Three's Company. And you guys picked everything that I'm selling. I am selling a fairy lamp tomorrow. I'm selling Tanala tomorrow. I'm selling ephemera tomorrow.
Ooh, that's going to be popular.
Yeah, and Michael's picked all his stuff. He's ready.
I did.
Ready to go.
German, Austrian, maybe a little imperial, some Royal Copley. Oh, ooh. I don't know, some Gonder pottery.
Ooh.
That mid-century chartreuse. It's coming your way, guys.
Ooh,
wow. Now, Michael's got fancy things sometimes, but he likes a good kitsch. But he likes a good kitsch.
I've got probably one of the trashiest, tackiest things I've ever found. And I just found it Thursday.
Tackiest? You're speaking my language.
It is so that is so ungodly ugly. That's what makes it so good.
But see, I think the uglier it is, the more endearing it is. It's just something about it that attracts you to it, and you have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think if you think about the vintage Christmas things, like the tacky Christmas things, it brings back a nostalgia because I think that tacky and Christmas kind of go together.
They do.
In some way, shape, or form. Daniel,
I do. I want to show you, but
hi, Nancy. Nancy's here too. So Jeffrey and I were talking a little bit earlier. Well, Jeffrey and I talk a lot earlier.
A lot of bit.
But we were talking a little bit about, and I'm really kind of wanting to know your thoughts, viewers. Your thoughts on we were talking a little bit about the difference between having flat price items and offer up items in the live sales. And what I know that it's a very mixed bag. It's a very mixed opinion. I just want to know. I want to know what you all think. Do you like a combination? I am not going to solely do one or the other. I mean, I'm going to always do a combination, and I think Jeffrey is too. We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'm just curious what you guys in the chat. I don't know. I just want to know what your thoughts are on it.
Did you even say everything? Did you get your whole thought out about the
Did
live
I?
sales? I don't know. I don't know if it was 100%.
Did you understand what I was saying, Michael? And
Fill in the blanks, Jeffrey. I mean, I understand what
So
you're saying.
we're talking about like all offer ups or like some offer ups versus some like buy it now, like name your, what do we call that? The name your price.
Buy it now.
Buy it now
Or offer up.
style.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people.
I agree with Misty that we should have like a mixture, but there's always that wonder, like, what's that mixture like? Is it 75% offer ups? Is it 50% offer ups? Is it 25% offer ups?
Mhm.
Because sometimes people want to be able to get, they want a chance at something. And if they have slow internet speed, it's like, forget about it.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this. I think that too, again, and Missy was right, and I will put it out there too. But tonight on Instagram, there is an Instagram live sale, and it's vintage. I think vintage, Stephanie, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but Vintage Bulldog is hosting it, and Stephanie is going to be on it. So when you go in there, they run the Instagram live sales are similar but very different in a sense of how they operate. And it would literally be, and yes, Jeffrey, I just opened this, but it would be like, okay, this postcard is, I'm asking, it's $5. And if one person claims it for $5, then it sells to that person for $5. If I say this postcard is $5 and I see 3 people put in $5, then anybody willing to bid $6 and then somebody else would be, so it's kind of like this will be a claim if only one person claims it. It'll be a claim if nobody else wants to go above that asking price. Otherwise, it automatically turns into a offer up, if you will.
Yeah, that's kind of what Jamie Mid-Century Wasted was saying. She said she likes the idea where it starts at a flat price, but if more than one person claims it, then it switches to an offer up. Now that I like the theory of that, but
confusing.
but then the person that hit that number first will be like, well, I hit it, I got it.
Yeah.
So then you it's kind of a what do you do with that on those during those instances.
And I think that's hard to execute on a YouTube platform where it's a little more intimate on Instagram. So it's easier, I think, to be able to do that when you have that Instagram platform. I mean, and the lag is tough. I mean, I've been on the other end of the lag too, and I've seen how hard it is. And I think the offer ups are good for special items like the fairy lamps that everybody wants a shot to have. But then there are other items that maybe aren't, I mean, they're cool and they're awesome. It doesn't make them less unique, but there's something like, say, an advertising tin that maybe only a few people might be interested in, and the buy it now is kind of a little bit more reasonable for that, I think.
Yeah. Well, and I know Thrift You last night during their sale, they were doing that last night. And I meant to ask them today how that was going for them. And I just didn't, but they were doing that last night at their sale.
Wait, can you leave that one up so I can?
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to.
I don't understand it. I'm trying to.
People that aren't resellers can't compete with resellers because we don't have the sourcing budgets they do. We miss out on nice things because the price goes too high in offer ups.
But Leona, thank you. That's a very interesting comment, because the people that are spending the most money are probably more than likely collectors.
That's what I was going to say. Because resellers aren't going to buy something for a lot of money because there's really no point to resell it then.
Right. Resellers want to get something for as low as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we read that wrong though.
Well, I almost feel like, are we reading it as one thing? Is it maybe 2 comments?
Oh, it could be 2 comments that are separated.
People that aren't resellers can't compete.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like I will tell you this, I don't have a huge sourcing budget. I think everybody would agree that if you resell, the object of the game is to spend as few dollars
as
as
possible.
possible.
Right. Yep. That is, hi Liz. Yeah. And we've all been there. I mean, we've all been to sales where we've tried to get stuff too. And it's like, oh, I can't get that. Because of the internet lag. And it's just kind of, it's almost like you feel like you're in Las Vegas and you're at the casino and you're like, oh, is it going to be my lucky night tonight? That sometimes makes it a little exciting, in a way.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, I've actually sat out on my porch when I've had really bad internet, trying to use the cell service from the outside with 3 devices at one time trying to get something.
Yep. Oh, I know. Yeah, Tiger has a good point too. The shipping is unfortunate, but it is expensive. It really is. And I have a lot of Canadian customers. Love you. And I love your ketchup potato chips, by the way.
Those are so good.
But I hate the shipping that's charged. And Michael sent a big box to me the other day, and someone sent something to me from Australia, and your box was more expensive than the Australia box.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's only the other side of the earth.
Pounds. It wasn't even 2 pounds, but it was the size. And I swear to you, I thought I got the right size box. And she said $45, and I was like, how much? I was like, well,
I had a candy dish recently that sold, and it was about 3 pounds. And I put it in, even in a flat rate, the best box I could get, it was like $45, $50 going all the way to California. I mean, that's bananas.
And listen, we hate, and I know every reseller that you're getting things, they are trying to get you the cheapest shipping possible. And sometimes we just can't. And I know that we feel so bad, but we all pay shipping too, because we'll be buying stuff too. And we all have to pay shipping on it as well. So it's not fun. Deborah, this is a good question. I like, this is what I like about this, because I want to get your guys's, what's going through your brains too. But Deborah asks, is it okay for a reseller to hold your items for a week so that the buyers can save on shipping?
Well, I think that's up to the seller. But it just depends. If it's somebody that buys regularly, I think that's a lot safer. But if it's somebody that's new and you're like, I've never sold anything to you, it might not be.
What if you said, I can, with the caveat that the items that you purchase have to be paid for, and then in next week's sale, should you buy anything, you will pay the cost of those items plus the shipping at that time. That way, if they ghost you, at least you got the cost of those goods sitting. You can resell them, but
I've had it happen to where I've had and I will hold things for 1 week, but that's it. Because I have had things that I've held for like a month. And then at the end of the month, they have this ginormous bill. And then they're like, oh, I can't. If they haven't kept track, then they're like, oh, I can't afford that. I'm like, well,
you bought the item.
So in my situations, I'm in Jeffrey too. We have the space where we can put something somewhere for a little while. If you're working out of your home, you just can't hold. You don't have the space to be able to hold something.
Yeah, there's that, and I have a lot of stuff too. So it's like, okay, well, I don't have to sell this. I can pull something else. But if you don't have a lot of inventory to choose from, you're like, yeah, but I want to sell this because I need that money.
Yep.
Well, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so everything that I have right now from my previous sale is all on my kitchen counter, where I need the space to cook and do other things. So, my space is limited. So for me, I can't really hold items for people. They need to move along out the door.
So I guess, guys, you're the best thing, the best answer I can say is just going to depend on who the seller is. I think that it's perfectly fine for you to send them an email and ask, but at the same time, you have to be respectful of their answer as well, because it's all going to depend on everyone's individual circumstance. But I won't hold anything. I will hold something for the next week, but that's it. Just because things can add up, and then the more you buy, the heavier your box is going to be, and the more shipping you're going to have.
Exactly.
And it may have to go in multiple boxes in the end anyway.
Right. And sometimes that's less expensive to do it that way. Yeah. Trust. Oh, hi, Patrick. He can't hold on to people because he doesn't have the space. And I think that if you're asking a reseller, and I don't think you should ever hesitate to ask anything. If you have a question about anything, I think it's a good idea to send an email.
Yeah. Always.
I would say this though, and here's the thing. I think, living in Canada, you live in Canada. I don't necessarily know that you live in Canada. So if you email me, but you purchase something and then you email me after it, then I'm kind of like stuck.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to I don't want to feel like I'm being a jerk, even though ultimately I'm really not being a jerk. I don't want to feel like I'm being a jerk. But if you were to email me up front saying, hey, I live in Canada, I plan on being at the sale. If I do purchase something, is there an opportunity for me? That way I know going into it. And space is limited, especially for bigger things. But I think that giving any individual like lead time on it, do you know what I'm saying? Just so that you don't feel like you're like, oh, I have this 17-inch planter. What am I going to do with this for the next week?
Right. Angela brings up a good point, and this does not this has maybe happened to me twice. So I'm very, very blessed that this has only happened to me a couple times. A lot of people, I know that a lot of resellers have had things during a live sale that they've sold, and then the person's never contacted them, or they never had any of their information. And, we, in this community, we do try to help each other out to pass that information on. So it all boils down to, if you are in doubt, like, I don't know if Jeffrey has my email. I don't know if he has my information, because I know that there's a live sale happening at all times. When in doubt, just send your information again.
Exactly.
Y'all, I send Jeffrey an email every time. I will send Misty Pate
an
email.
He does.
I will send Pamela an email. It doesn't matter. It's a courtesy to them. I don't want to be like, oh, I bought something that went from them before. He might not need it. She might not need it. But it's just a simple courtesy. It doesn't take that long.
And it's nice to have everything in one place too. At the end of the day, when I'm doing invoicing, I print all the emails out from that sale, and then I can,
holy moly,
write the weight and everything. So that's helpful.
Oh, I wouldn't want to do all that.
Jeffrey does. He gets his invoicing done that night. I don't. We have a different way of doing things, Jeffrey and I.
Yeah. I tried shipping over at Misty's place, and I about screamed.
It's funny because you get into a routine. You're like, this is how I do it, Jeffrey. You do it your way. That's not the way that I'm
like, what was I asking for? I was like asking for your paper. And you were like, I think it was the paper. And you were like, oh, it's in this bin over here. I'm like, that's not anything. That's hardly that's a few scraps, Misty. Like, I need like a whole roll or something. I didn't need a whole roll.
I don't buy it in rolls. I buy it because I can't find it in rolls. Yeah, I wanted to say Rachel has a good point. Over the years is having a live sale right now. He has a live sale every Monday at 8:00. And if you go over and shop at if you want to buy something and shop, he has really cool things. You can come and watch us later. Go and shop. You can watch us later.
What's his George, Antique Nomad? He's live right now too.
Yes, he's having his live.
That's what happens. There's not enough time.
No, there isn't.
The Mondays was just the best. I wanted to do this. I wanted to have like this community forum, community chat. And Monday nights was the only night that I could do it. And I know that there are other sales on Monday nights, but I always say we're not having a sale. We're just chatting. You can watch us later. Yeah. You can go over to the sale. It won't hurt my feelings. It will not hurt
the calendar.
Lena's doing both.
Well, Lena.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys know that Lena and I went to high school together? I say that every time she pops on.
Oh, really?
Hey, Lena. Yeah, and Mark. Lena, Mark, and I all went to high school together. Lena went to elementary school with Mark.
Lena, spill all the gory details.
Oh, there are no gory details. Mark was an angel.
About Misty, I bet about you.
No, I was not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vintage Uprising Texas is going to be on at the end of the month. She says she's watching split screen. Oh God, I would be like, that's sensory overload for me.
That's a lot of people on the screen.
Yeah, that's a lot of people on the screen. Okay, let's see. I'm going up to see. Yeah, Jojo Mama, I do buy rolls of paper, but I've actually found it cheaper. I buy it in a big bulk package on Amazon.
I get mine. Look.
Yeah.
That's a small roll. It started out much bigger. I
don't like it in a roll because I like it to lay flat on my table so I can just go boop, and I don't have to go and put it in my box.
That was so cheap that's not giving you any information or context on how it started out. About one over there is about 13 inches in diameter, and it's 24 inches. 36 inches tall, and it's an end roll. You get them at the newspaper print shop, and they're very cheap.
And my building is pretty much right next door to the paper office. I don't know why. I've never gone in there and asked them. I literally can go out my back door and be at the paper, the newspaper office. So, Pamela, yes, I do that. I have a big bin, big bin that I just put everything in and I reuse it all.
I started doing that more. I used to not, because I was like, I want to give everybody new materials. But
no, Jeffrey, we are recycling people. We recycle. Now, the only thing that I don't recycle, I recycle it as far as I will put it in a box and take it back to the antique store, and then they'll reuse it as newspaper. I don't like to use newspaper, mainly because I don't like the thought of people's hands getting dirty.
You know what I just started reusing? Hold on, let me get it.
I have used thankfully.
You know what these are?
The things from your Rollo?
Yes. I have a Rollo printer, and literally it's just like, this is like wax paper basically.
Yeah.
But I have like a whole bunch of that stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. Anything paper, I'm just going to shove in a box and use it now. So
yeah,
I think little scraps of bubble wrap, the ones that are too taped together, and if you have something in a corner that you need, it's perfect for that. So I really don't throw much away, except for packing peanuts. I'm sorry, I hate packing peanuts.
Yeah, I don't like them either, but sometimes they are necessary. I will say sometimes they are necessary, especially if you're recycling them. And apparently my son told me that there are some packing peanuts that you can eat. Apparently. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to, but
I know there's some that you can put water, like they dissolve with water. Is that right?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't like packing peanuts because they're staticky, and you never know what to do with them when you're done with them. They don't compress very easily like paper does. You can't just throw them in the recycle. I don't even think they're recyclable.
And my dog Louie eats them, so that's not good.
What doesn't Louie eat? Louie eats just anything.
I know.
Louie's like a Hoover vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
Okay. So Kelly said that packing peanuts are made of starch.
All of them are they?
So Jeffrey, you're gonna have to try one. Do you have one? Go get one right now and eat it. I dare you.
No, I don't like them, so I don't have them. I tried them in the past because I was like,
guess if you were stranded on a desert island and that's all you had, then maybe
Yeah.
No thanks.
I
do use air pillows. Somebody asked about that.
Yes, I do too. Well, I mainly recycle them because if you order anything from Amazon, you'll get 5,000 of them in your box. Jazida, I think I said your name right. I always say names wrong, so I'm sorry. I've been buying fairy lamps lately. The only one that was broken only had paper, and all of the others had packing peanuts. I bet you that the one that was broken didn't have enough paper.
Yeah.
I don't trust packing peanuts. I don't trust air pillows either, because I feel like the peanuts have a tendency to, I will use it
To move.
for extra, but they shift. So it always makes me like, oh my God, what if it gets jostled and the weight shifts? And
well, here's because they can move a lot, and if you have something that's kind of like pointed, it can like burrow itself like a little, like it's kind of like sand in a way. And if you do that enough and you move it enough, paper is very rigid if you do it right, which I've like perfected. Not to pat myself on the back, but I really know how to use my paper. So I put paper on the top, the bottom, the four sides, and it depends on the item. So if it's a lightweight item, I'm not going to need a ton of paper because I'm not worried about that thing like bouncing back and forth or anything.
Right.
But if it's a heavy thing, you got to use a dense amount of paper to keep that item from compressing the paper.
You're floating it in the box.
You have to float it in the box.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Big Bubble. I think the Big Bubble works great, but also
Big bubbles are fine.
Is awesome. My moving company that helped my grandparents move all the way from Missouri, they never used a single sheet of bubble wrap. They used that heavy packing paper, and they were explaining why it works. Because like you said, it floats the item in the box, it keeps it safe, and not a single thing broke. All this China that came halfway across the country in just plain, really thick paper was perfect.
if you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly how I feel about packing peanuts. I compared them to an STD. I did.
Hate them with a passion too, Michael.
They're like the kind, they're gone, and then all of a sudden they're back.
They're back.
You know what I'm saying? There's two. Some people get them on the lip. That's what I compared them. I did.
Yvonne said she got a couple recycled Jeffrey boxes today from another reseller. And a Jeffrey box because it's got Jeffrey tape.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how do you know? I was like, how did you know that it was? It didn't occur to me that the tape was the same.
I really want to get some tape, but I just like.
Let me get my roll. I'll show you.
I've left
you're
the Jeffrey
spending
tape
money
on
on
several
something that
times.
someone's literally going to throw away. That's what I'm just like. Ugh. I know.
I just changed it to this light blue because I did have this. Come on, I had this dark blue, which I can't decide which I like, but I kind of am feeling the light blue now.
I like
it.
it.
It's
Just for a
nice.
change. What?
It's
I
nice
like-
when people get a package they know who it's from.
Yes.
Yes.
Like those I got a Jeffrey package in the mail today. That's what everyone does, right?
Sure.
Well, and Fatbird Finds, they have their sticker on theirs. And I ordered some stickers and they're not what I thought they were. They're actually a lot better than what I thought I was ordering. So they're a lot better than what I thought I was ordering. So I spent too much money on that. But, because fill the void. You got to fill the void.
Yep.
It's so weird though, because I can't ship a coffee mug or anything. If I don't fill the void, it's like, it's going to break. I don't know why that is, but you just have to fill the void.
I hear you in my head, Misty, when I'm shipping things. I hear fill the void, and then like kangaroo I shipped, I was like, oh, I got to get some cardboard and put over his little head and his little tail.
I know. Sometimes you feel like, do you guys ever talk to your things when you ship them?
No.
Yes, I do.
No, I
do.
talk to the people that are buying.
Oh,
it.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might curse at it.
No.
Oh.
I'm like, Cindy's
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl, you froze.
this one
Oh,
needs Cindy's now.
Oh, she sped up.
Cindy, I'm packing your package.
I always say, I got you, Cindy, now. I got you, or whoever it is. And then I put them in a pile. I'm like, all right, buddy, you're next.
Yeah, I talk to mine. I'm like, and it's your turn. You're up to bat, and I'll get you in a minute. I don't know,
That's funny.
It's like you're giving them a little life. Okay, question for all. Oh, hi, Joni. How do you deal with troll comments? Do you delete them or ignore them? Well, are you talking
Well-
about like on a live or on a recorded video?
It depends on what you consider a troll comment too.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like constructive criticism, well, then you would deal with it. I deal with it. I take what I can get from those and I learn from them. But if it's like well, I can't say anything too ridiculous. Well, somebody put like, and I didn't know this, Barb told me, but in my last live, somebody was typing like F, enter, A, enter.
Yes,
B.
I saw that.
And I didn't see it, but somebody got it. And well, that's just a straight up troll. What do you do about that? I don't care. Like that's their problem. They're having
Michelle
cognitive
has
difficulties.
had horrible trolls on her lives lately. I mean, like cut yourself, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like horrible trolls on her videos lately.
That's not trolls. That's more than that. That's like you could go to the police basically with that.
I had to report a couple.
Yeah, you report them, absolutely. And then they get taken down and their accounts are whatever, and then they make another account. So it's almost like YouTube needs to, it's like, is there something else that they can do about it?
Well, have you noticed in anybody's sales, there is a thing, I don't know what it is, but it will, and it happened to me, but it's like Google moderator team deleted comment. And it's like, who the hell is Google moderator team?
Like am I that popular?
Happen.
It deleted my comment about guinea pigs. I said something about guinea pigs and it deleted it. And I was like, well, that's not really bad or inappropriate. So what are you doing?
Well, and having moderators in your live chat is very important. But sometimes, and this happens every time, and I know people feel so bad. And because it's happened in my lives and they've sent me an email and they're like, I'm so sorry. But sometimes when the chat goes by really fast, and if you're on a tablet or even on your computer and you're trying to delete a comment, then you accidentally block somebody else because the chat's going by so fast.
Katie knows all about that.
Yeah,
it happened to me.
Right. Yeah, it happens. Oh, you know what? Well, so I guess to answer that, delete them and don't give them any power. Delete them. It's your channel. You can, when you're for a recorded video, it's your channel. You can make the decision, whether or not you want to leave a comment up or if you want to delete it. I tend to delete anything that's negative because I don't want that.
And just remember, it's all engagement. So even if it's nasty, at least it's helping you in some small way.
Right.
And people that are mean, they're just mean because they have an issue in their own lives. It's nothing to do with you. So you just have to not give it power and delete it and move on with your day.
And I tell you what, at first it really does bother you. Like when I first started my YouTube channel and you get these comments and you're like, you're like, someone said that about me, And of course I always get you're making me sick in your videos. You're moving too fast. I mean, that's like every week. And I'm like, I know that I move too fast. I'm sorry if I'm making you sick, but I can't help it. I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
We'll take the Dramamine and enjoy.
I think that people don't understand how difficult it is to film. So you've got one hand holding your camera or your phone, and then you're trying to look with your other hand, and you're trying to talk, and then you see something. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
A lot to do.
Yeah. Dino's comment, I see it there.
Yeah.
The tape is $400 for. Let me tell you how many rolls I got. 48 rolls, and each roll, I don't know the math on that, so divide that one out. But it's 48 rolls, and I think each roll is 110 yards.
Okay.
So there you go, and they're 3 inches wide, so they're not like the skinny stuff. They're like the thicker, and I like the thicker. I didn't know I was going to like it so thick, but I do. But it's good because it really. You like that?
40 for 400. So you're at.
What?
You said 40 at 400?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No, 48 at 400.
48. Okay.
Do you have the answer, or are you just packing that away?
Do I have the mathematical answer?
I'm looking at comments. I'm trying to pull up other comments.
I'll get a calculator.
Hi, George. George is here. Hello,
Pretty-
George. Uncle
Hi,
Professor.
George.
An average roll of 120 is going to cost you $333. That's if like you were just to go out to Walmart and buy a 4-pack.
Of what's 120?
Do
What
I
does
then?
that mean? What's
Oh,
120?
yards. Like the
Yard.
length of the yard.
Hey,
Okay, so I have 110. So let's just call that about the same.
Let's
So
say, yeah.
it's and that's like a 2-inch.
Yeah, standard.
2-inch. Okay, so this is $8.33 a roll for the same amount, essentially, just a little bit wider. But so I guess you're paying
You're
double.
branded. You're branded.
Jeffrey, not everybody's going to get tape.
I doubt it, but that's
I
good.
want tape.
Everybody's going to get tape now. Deborah, this is a good comment. I think we've talked about this before, but we can talk about it again. How do you feel about other people advertising on your live show?
Not sale, live show, right?
Right.
I guess
No,
I don't know.
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
There's a big difference. Well, Katie, I'll answer last. I'll let somebody else answer and then I'll chime in at the end.
You know, if it's just a live chat and people are hanging out and it's not something for me, like I do the book readings on Monday or I do friend mail, I don't really mind people sharing things. But if it's a sale or something where I'm more focused, I really find that it's distracting. And I think that people should be focusing primarily on the sale or the event that they're at. And I certainly don't mind helping people or sharing information or that kind of thing. But I do think that there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes the sales and the chats just really aren't the place for that. You know, get on Instagram, really promote your stuff, talk to Angela, get on the calendar, you know, really work at promoting things outside, and then people will know of your events. Now, if somebody asks you, like I've been asked before, someone said, "Oh, I saw you were having this. When is it?" Of course, I'm not going to not answer the person. And I just ask the person to answer it. I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
You know what
But
it's
I
like?
wouldn't just go around, you know, saying, "Well, my sale's at 4:00." I mean, you know.
You know what it's like, though? It's kind of like, imagine that we were not on the internet and like I had a brick and mortar and I had like, you know, I was open and then somebody walked in and they started saying to my customers, "Hey, you know, I have a store too, just down the road. If you want to find more stuff like this." It's kind of like not, I don't know, like think of it in another way rather than just like another place to soapbox yourself.
Yeah.
But that said, I really don't have as big of an issue. I tend to look at things in lots of different ways, but I don't really care if it's just like a regular talking thing necessarily. But if it's a live sale, it gets cluttered up, like I think Katie was saying. It kind of just distracts what's going on in the sale.
Michael?
No, actually, I was going to use that exact same analogy that Jeffrey did. I was. You know, you wouldn't, I don't know if you were a business owner and you would walk into another person's place of business and proceed to those customers, say to those customers in another person's place of business, "Hey, you guys, I have this shop right down the road. It's right next door. Why don't you come over?" You know, there's beyond being rude. When you think about everybody's earning money, then I think that we should put it maybe into a more professional kind of perspective, and it's simply unprofessional, if you will. You know, allow people the time and the space to earn their money, regardless of whether they're paying their bills or they're supplementing with it. They're earning money. And I would extend the same professional courtesy to you. Is it social media? Of course. Is a lot of it driven by personality and individual? Of course it is. But at the end of the day, people are earning money. And for me, that then turns it into kind of a professional respect kind of thing. So I personally wouldn't do it in somebody else's sale. And I would feel a little like, okay, thanks for stealing my thunder.
Yeah.
During
a live sale, it isn't nice because you wouldn't go into Walmart and say, if you went to Target and say, "Don't shop at Walmart, shop at Target." I mean, maybe people would do that, but It isn't nice. It isn't nice to do. It's not very tactful. And honestly, the seller, the person that's having the live sale remembers that, and they may not want to promote they may not want to promote anything because that's like, well, that was rude. I can't believe that they did that. I always tell people at the end of my sales, if they have a YouTube channel or they're having a sale, to put it in the comments of the video, not in the chat, but in the comments, because people more than likely are going to see your channel link and anything like that in the chat. As a content creator, though, sometimes you do have to go back in and look at those comments that are held for review, because sometimes YouTube will block comments that have links in them. So then you have to go in and kind of unblock. Sometimes you can also, as a content creator, you can also type in words that you don't allow to show up in as a comment, like COVID or mask, or, there's certain words that you don't want in your clogging up your feed, because it's not something that you care to address, has nothing to do with the video. So I just say don't do it. We all have had to really get on Instagram and just advertise, show up in other people's sales as a commenter, as part of the community. And people will remember you if you are an active participant. And so that's what I think about that.
I always say promote the heck out of your stuff.
You have to. I mean, that's just business in general. I mean, that's what retail businesses do. You have to advertise, and then listen, I know that another thing though too, it's really hard for you to have live sales and you have a YouTube channel and you only have like 25 subscribers. It's a lot more difficult for you to be able to have, and I understand that you have to eventually get there, and you will, but don't just, now this is just my opinion, but I think if you're starting a YouTube channel because you want to resell things and you want to have live sales, for you to just go ahead and have a live sale before you have any other content, before your community, before your audience can get to know you and see who you are and see if they want to purchase your items, you gotta build your community up first of viewers before you can say, well, Jeffrey's having a live sale, I can have a live sale too. But Jeffrey has 26,000 subscribers, so more eyes are going to see it. So I think that, building up that audience first. So make videos, make shop with me videos, make haul videos, make, any videos to build a sense of community, and then work your way into having live sales if you choose to. You having a YouTube channel will help bring direction to your eBay store, to your Poshmark store, to your Mercari store. That's just my opinion though. That's just, when I first started having my live sales, I sold maybe 5 things.
You know what? Because I'm just like thinking about like this whole, because I don't want to come across that like I don't want to help other people, but I don't want to be
right.
I don't want to be used either. Like that's the feeling that I'm trying to portray. Like I don't want people just to be on my sales just to promote themselves. Like I don't have a problem promoting people I like, but like I'm not a bulletin board. Like my business isn't just like a bulletin board for you to come stick up your business card. Like I'm trying to do my own thing, and I like to help other people out when I can. But when I'm in the mode of doing what I do, it's not nice, I don't think, for people to kind of come in and get in the middle of that and be like, well, but look at me too. Look, I do it too. Like, that's when I like Misty's idea of putting it in the comments below after the sale, because people can see that afterwards. It's not in the middle of while I'm conducting business. It's kind of like I'm in a meeting or I'm in a business conference or something, and people are like standing up in the middle of it like, hey, but look at me. And I'm like, so I just want to say that. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I just helped myself or dug myself down a well more.
I think that we always want to promote people in our community, because my theory on that is, Katie and I aren't selling the same things. You know, Jeffrey and I, with selling these vintage items, they're not going to be exactly the same for the most part. I mean, sometimes they are, because now it's like, you know, fairy lamps have exploded everywhere. There's a fairy lamp at every sale now, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. But we're not. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't want to interrupt. You won't go.
No, I'm just saying that we're not selling the same thing. It's not a cookie cutter sale. So my theory is, like, having my brick and mortar store, I want 5 or 6 antique malls around me. I want those people around me, because it's just going to help build my business. We're all kind of in this community together. And if we support each other, then we're going to help each other grow. But there's a way to do it. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Like you go up to the other antique mall, the other stores, and you say, hey, do you want
No, go ahead.
It's just like, I get so like, but the right way to do it in that case, in a brick and mortar store, you go up to the owner and say, hey, I have a place down the street here. Do you mind if I put a little thing, if I have business cards? Yep. And you're like, sure, I'll just put these out here. And then I'll let people know if they're in there and they're asking about other places. You can go, that's the right way to do it. There's like a certain kind of code, but you don't just like walk in and walk up to the customers and say, you know, I have another place down here. Like, it doesn't make sense.
It's just like going to the mall. I mean, how many of us have been to a mall where there's somebody shoving something in your face, you don't even know what it is, and it's frustrating because you're just going about your day trying to shop, do your thing, get in, get out, and there's somebody trying to sell you a skin product you've never heard of. I mean, you know, it's kind of like that. It would be better just to get to know the person first, and then, you know, be a part of, like Misty said, be a part of the community, be in the chats, get to know people, hang out, and then get on Instagram. You know, if you have a YouTube channel and you don't have an Instagram, it's a little tough. You gotta get on Instagram and really just keep posting your stuff.
Yeah.
And Katie had a much more diplomatic response than what I was going to say, because I was just going to say this, and I will speak for myself, is that, you know, social media is both an amazing tool if you use it as a tool, but it can be an incredible curse if you don't know how to properly use it as a tool. Yeah. And one of my biggest pet peeves is, especially on Instagram, if all that you're putting out there is live sale, Instagram sale, live sale, Instagram sale, sale. That's all your messaging is. That's all that you're putting out there. What happens is that when I come to your story or when I come to your post, I don't even bother reading it. You might get a like from me, but I'm just like, like, and I come to your story, I'm going to hit through it. Yeah. I'm not paying attention because I know is all you're doing is you're trying to sell me something. And I'm just there to chill and look at cool stuff and be in community, as Katie said. Get to know somebody first. Put yourself out there. Sell yourself first before you start trying to sell me something. And as a retail manager, that is always what I train my new employees in. You have to get somebody to see you and not equate you as just another entity of this company. You have to be yourself, a true authentic self, if you want a stranger to listen to you, because it is like the perfume lady. You're walking down the aisle, the last thing you want is somebody you don't know trying to spray you in the face with something to get you to buy something. You're like, oh, get away!
When you're at the mall and the lotion people, like when you're walking past the kiosk.
Don't touch me, 6 feet.
Well, you know, when you're walking past a kiosk at the mall and there's like the lotion or the hair product, and you're like, I'm not even gonna look at them. You're like, don't even give them because as soon as you like lock eyes, then they're like, hello, and I'm like, no, thank you. You know,
I had a lady grab me by the hand and start filing my nail and try to sell me this nail. I was horrified. I was like, no, I don't want this.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
No. So Zena said we allow annoying ads to get paid. Now that's the thing. The only way that we get paid for putting out content is through ads. Are they annoying? Yes. I mean, I have YouTube Red, so I don't watch anybody's ads because
I don't either.
I pay a monthly fee, and it's great, by the way.
I would
I
highly
don't mind
recommend
the
it.
ad. I just wish there were more diverse ads.
Yeah.
And we
It's
don't get to
just
pick
like,
the
oh my
ad.
God, it's the same ads over and over
Yeah,
and
and
over. I'm like, stop.
We don't pick the ads. That's YouTube picks the
YouTube,
ads. We don't know. We don't have any.
Google,
Google picks it.
multi-billion dollar. You make more money than most countries in the world, and you can't get more ads than 10 people.
Now,
Lies.
I will say the last couple months since the beginning of the year, I've added one additional ad to my videos. Normally I just add 2, but I have added 3 depending on how long they are. If it's like a 20-minute video, I'm always going to add 2, but if it's like over 30 minutes, I'm going to put in 3. And that's simply because AdSense is cut. I'm like making 50%, or it's starting to build back up a little bit, but my revenue from Google has gone down 50% just because of the time of the year that it is. So
Everybody
that helps,
says,
it helps a little bit just to put an extra ad in and watch it for a few minutes and you can skip it. That's what everybody does. But yeah, Zeno said, I'll let you promote your sale if you give me a big super chat. But Google keeps 30% of the super chat. So
They do.
They out there struggling, Google have a hard
Oh, I
time
know.
making them ends meet,
feel so bad for them.
yeah, I wouldn't want to see George pissed either. I can't. My brain just won't go there, George. You are everybody's uncle professor. I can't see you ever getting mad at anybody.
No, I can't. He seems so kind.
I saw D in the
I
chat.
can.
Hi, D.
I actually can
believe
too.
George.
I see his eyes. I can imagine his eyes focusing and getting really intense and just I can. Now I want
I
to.
hear like this, ha! I hear like this. You can hear it. He literally, I hear this laugh of uh-oh, here we go.
I'm sure Zeno can probably say, oh yeah, he gets mad. All right. Just like with Aaron. Everyone's like, oh, I can't ever see Aaron get mad. I've heard Aaron get mad, and he can get mad, and he can get sassy. You don't see that side of Aaron, and he can get sassy. I'm just saying. I love you, Aaron, but you can get sassy. But we all can. Bree said they keep running, probably because I always talk about laxatives.
And the poop hole, the septic system, they're like, well, this is what she wants.
Well, we got that stimulus check, and my stimulus is going to the poop hole. I'm just letting you know.
You got your stimulus already?
It's on hold until the 17th.
I haven't got mine yet.
And
You'll probably get the
we need to claim our dependents. I should be able to claim my dad, actually, but I can't. Okay. West Side Gary said that. Sorry, I always say that. I always say that.
Okay.
Gary, I would highly recommend getting an Instagram.
Yep.
Highly, 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 highly.
I know a lot of people.
How do you get through your day without an Instagram? Oh.
You got to get on it. You got to. Everyone's there from our community. And there's a lot of cute dog pictures too. So if you want dog pictures, go to Instagram.
I never am on Facebook. And I know that I have it linked to, I have a Facebook page, a Thrifter Junker, and I'm sorry, but I don't ever go on there. I try to check it every once in a while.
I try to check it every 2 weeks.
I don't like YouTube, or I love YouTube. I don't like I love
Demonetized. Demonetized.
I love you, YouTube.
And I try to check
been
Instagram
on
once a day.
8 years.
Do what? You haven't been on Facebook in years?
8 years.
8
Wow.
years.
Holy moly.
I don't miss it at all. Because Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram.
Well, you know they own Instagram, right?
I know. Well, they didn't, but now they do. And that's why that stupid algorithm, because Facebook apparently knows what I want to like better than I know what I want to like. Because,
Yeah, I started a Vintage and Vinyl Facebook group, and just for people to chat, but I honestly don't check it that much, and I don't post to it because I'm just not on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's creative. There's a lot of creative stuff you can do on
There
Instagram.
is.
Yeah.
There is.
Stories, reels, IGTV,
You can go
music.
live on Instagram and have sale. You can post. I mean, you can on Facebook too. I know that there's things that you can do on Facebook too that's creative. I don't know. I think that if you're comfortable with doing Facebook, then take advantage of everything that Facebook has to offer.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the stories.
I like how simple Instagram is. Like Facebook confuses me too much. I'm just like, it's like a clunky dinosaur, but
it's not friendly. No, the interface is not friendly. It's not easy to use. It's convoluted. There's way too much useless features.
I'm like, I never can find what I need. I'm like, how do I get to my page? And then I'm like,
yeah, the page thing drives me nuts because it's in a different tab, and then you go there and you're not viewing it like you would a viewer. So there's all these ads popping up. It's just, I don't know.
Rebecca.
Yes.
Oh, Rebecca.
Oh, you can be live on Discord now? Rebecca, thank you, Rebecca, by the way. I appreciate that. I am bad about, I need to get on Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's kind of like a social media thing where you can just get on there and chat. Like we have a community of thrifters and you can share photos and Graham wanted to do it. And I'm like, okay, Graham, but you're going to have to do it because I can't do one more thing. And so I'm very confused. And a lot of people do get very confused on Discord. But it is if you're interested, it's free. It's in the link is to Discord is in all of my videos.
Is it like a forum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with text threads that go down, down, and down.
So it's like
those are important or not important. Those are back in style.
Yeah.
They probably never went out of style.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's a way that you can share your sales, and there's like different pages that you can. Thank you, Rebecca and Graham they've been holding down the fort because I'm like, I don't know. I
forget to go on there, but the couple of times I have, it's fun. People share some neat things, and you can catch up with everyone's events.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see, Perla, TikTok, I can't figure it out. I can't do it. I'm just like, I'm barely figuring out how to do reels on Instagram. Like, barely.
Oh.
I don't understand TikTok, and I call it the TikTok. I don't understand the TikTok, but
it just seems so youthful. Oh my God, I'm old. But I know Jocelyn's on there. She was doing some banging TikToks too. I was like, but she's younger than me, so.
Well, I will say that a lot of the TikTok that we follow is not all of what TikTok is, because I was reluctant to get on it, and then I got on it and I found this incredible thrifting vintage community, and that's how I found like George is on there now, and there's
George is on TikTok.
Yeah, George is on TikTok.
Oh, well, Misty's coming in now.
Watch me some George on TikTok. I bet
there's a lady I follow that does rotary phones, and her whole TikTok is like a deep dive. She collects rotary phones and she shares how they work, and she's got a switchboard, and it's just fascinating. So there's a lot more than just the dumb dancing.
See,
I need a marketing person. Like I'm terrible.
I have a daughter that is a marketing major, and I will say she has told me that there has been studies, and I don't know, but there has been studies that the importance of you doing stories on Instagram and Facebook, because you can do them on Facebook too, that there's some kind of that the majority of people, your stuff will get out there in more people's eyes if you're doing stories.
100% true.
So
100% true.
Try the stories. I'm sounding like a mammal. Try the stories. Try the TikTok. But yeah, if you do a story, which is a way for your viewers or your followers to just kind of see like they're seeing a little background, like behind the scenes kind of thing. But yeah, I love doing Instagram stories, and you can go live. And so yeah, there is some studies that have shown recently that doing stories is very important.
You can do it like now. They're really pushing the Instagram stories, but what the heck is TikTok? Oh
What's
boy.
the TikTok? Laura wants to know.
But if you do the reels, they're going to start switching over because they went post, then they added stories, then they did TV. But the thing that they're really going to push now is going to be the reels. So the reels can be a little bit tricky to figure out, but just play with it. If you don't like it, just delete it. Don't post it.
What
But
is
definitely play with the reels.
What's a
The
reel?
reels are like a 30-second post
Like TikTok.
that now allows you. No, it's on Instagram.
I know, but it's like TikTok. Essentially.
yeah.
I like the
You
short.
can edit video. You can only do video. So you can pre-record video, or you can record video live while you're on Instagram, but you can use music now, where before you weren't allowed to use music. But you have to do it in a reel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like little mini videos instead of pictures.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of fun though, too. Like you can, like Jeffrey, this is your assignment, Jeffrey. We're going to work on this for you. Okay.
Okay.
Jeffrey's going to have a sale on Wednesday. So Jeffrey's going to make a reel of his stuff that he's selling, and you can add glittery things behind it, and you can add music to it.
Oh, so it's like an Instagram story, but it's in another
With
spot too.
music.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a post.
No, it's
But
in your
listen,
store. You can post it to your feed.
I know, but the idea is because on a story you can do the same thing, like with a little video.
A story is only going to, okay. So a story works like this. Only the people that are following you am I
We'll see
moving?
that. I
Yeah,
see you. You're there. I know the people that will follow you will see the story, right?
Correct. Unless you put a hashtag
Right.
into the story, and then it will show up in the hashtags story. So it is imperative that if you're making,
You have to use hashtags.
I'll make a story, I'll tag you, and I'll show you a hashtag.
Yeah.
Because the hashtag, if somebody searches Vintage Rescue Squad, you'll see when you go in there, it says top, but it has that icon, and you can click on it, and you'll see people's stories. But a reel will show up to people that are not following you, and a reel is more likely to show up in the your main feed, not in the people you follow. That last reel I did has almost 3,000 views.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I need someone to do this for me because I really don't care. It sounds great, but
because Jeffrey, you like to see numbers, and you can look at analytics on Instagram, so you can see.
Misty, I don't. Where did you get that? I don't even.
No.
Oh, come on! I have not looked at my analytics on YouTube.
No, you
for
don't get
months.
your analytics on YouTube, but
I like numbers, but
that's
not.
what I mean. You like to see, like, I think that you like to see, like, oh, this many people watch the story, and it'll show you, like.
Misty, I swear to you, I did a story. I never even looked at how many people looked at it. I have no clue.
Oh, you should.
You should.
I know. I'm an idiot.
Interesting. It's interesting.
Follow through.
Well, you need.
I usually look at my stories. I tell you what, I probably looked at this Vintage Rescue Squad because I absolutely love that Tears for Fears song, and I know that I could just listen to it, but I just like the snippet that I use. I probably have watched it, and every time I go to listen to the song, it tells you how many people, right down in the bottom left.
Yeah. Okay. Butterfly nurse. I know. I've seen a lot of people comment this, and okay, if you're not on Instagram, it's probably you're probably like, what are they even talking about? It's basically, when you see someone's feed post, and it's just like a picture or something, but in the story is like you can see, like, people are advertising their sales or their, I don't know. Let me see. Like, you can.
If I make a post, it's available, and it's going to stay on my Instagram page. If I make a story, it's available for 24 hours, and then it disappears.
Up here is where you see stories. So look
at all those people that are live.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of people live. So, like, you click on this and see these are stories, and then you just kind of go, well, oh, there's Liz Retros. Oh, Liz Retros got a new double-headed. I got distracted.
Just like that. That's the power of Instagram.
It is. And the best way to do it, this is the way that I learned. I just kind of try it and figure it out as I go. I don't, you know what I mean? You'll get the hang of it once you start doing it. I don't know that I could do TikTok though. So
Just have to jump in.
I just don't like this stuff. Like, I don't remember to use Instagram. I forget all the time that I have one. I forget to look at other people. I forget to get on it. I'm awful.
well,
I guess why I need somebody else to do it
you just
for
are
me.
very good at this, Jeffrey.
And then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then I'll do like a series of stuff all at one time. And then I'll forget about it for another 5 days.
Never
What?
spam. That's
Wait,
a
what are you
big
talking
no.
about? Spam?
Who's spammed?
Just
Instagram spamming. Never
Oh.
Instagram spam.
What's that?
It's when you post a lot of pictures in a short period
At
of time.
once.
Instagram frowns on that. They will bury you.
I have
Well-
been going through my feed before and had that happen. It's the same person, and they posted like 20 photos of the same thing at different angles, and I'm like, okay, I don't
I've
know
never done that.
right now.
You-
The app itself doesn't like it when you do
No.
that. Facebook doesn't like it, and they'll start to hide your posts from people.
Yeah.
That's why if I follow you and you notice that I like every single thing that you post, is because you have to force the algorithm to show you in chronological order the way Instagram used to be. You have to force the algorithm to stop giving you recommended, and it will force it into timeline. It'll force it back into timeline. But if you're following thousands of people, you're not going to be able to do that.
No. But I find that if you like someone a lot,
Jeffrey's like next subject. Let's talk about something.
and you like a lot,
I don't know if Aaron would enjoy that or not. He's really, I mean, he seems
likes-
to be.
I mean, I think that he likes to see, like, he likes to be on your sales and stuff. He likes to say,
No,
hi.
they're talking about for like having him deal with like this marketing stuff, I think. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, I don't think that he would like that.
I don't know. This is like not something I enjoy talking about.
I know.
Because the more I overthink it, and then I'm like, I'm doing so many things wrong. And like, I do my best just to put a couple tags on an Instagram post. Half the time I forget, and I'll just be like, sale.
Let's just say this. Yeah, please let's not give Jeffrey a headache.
Too late.
No, using tags is very important. And so if you're posting something like this can, I want to put vintage advertising, Ruthlin, rubber cement. I'm just kind of making things up. Just describing what it is. And then it won't only show up in the people that are following you. It'll show up to the world that's on Instagram. So then you're more than likely going to get more followers because they're searching that hashtag.
But
exactly.
the stuff I post, I'm like, I don't want anybody else to see. Like, what was
Well, then you shouldn't be
Well,
posting
then
it on
put it in
social
your
media.
story. Then you
Well,
put
I-
it in your story.
There's Aaron and Stella. Like,
Well, then you would put that as a story, and then it disappears after 24 hours.
I didn't even put a hashtag in there because it doesn't matter.
Well, I don't always put, if it's a personal picture, I'm probably not going to put it. But if it has something to do with my business, then I will.
If it's Louie, my pug Louie, I might put pugs of Instagram or something.
Right.
You would put like hashtag flamingos, hashtag vintage
I didn't
pottery,
do that at all.
hashtag-
All right. People are not enjoying this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, because it's not very insightful at all.
I mean, some people are. It's very important though. If you're wanting to grow your presence on YouTube and Instagram, because you can make money on Instagram too. It's very important. So
Yeah.
it is very important. But we
Just
can
jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, we can change. So there was something else. Yeah, Michelle, you and I are going to learn I'm going to work with Michelle on how to edit a video. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to get off of anything with hashtags. Oh, hi, Dagny. Dagny's here.
Hello, Dagny.
Hey, Dagny. Let's talk vintage. Well, what kind of vintage do you want to talk about?
You could talk about my glass.
Well, George has a nice comment. I think Jeffrey's doing a couple things right. He's got lots and lots of
that's
fans.
consistency for you.
Yes.
Yes.
And being somewhat enjoyable to watch, I suppose.
Yeah. 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 That's important too. Consistency. If you're wanting to do a YouTube, if you're wanting to have a YouTube presence, then I don't think you should jump right into sales. Let your audience get to know who you are. Let them go shopping with you. I always suggest that everyone do a shop with me video, just so you know that it isn't so easy.
Oh, it's
The nightmare of it all, the horror.
Honestly, it's kind of stressful because like you can't just shop. You can't just like do like look at and like find things that are worth money. You've got to like talk to the camera, make sure you're not going to trip and fall over. Make sure what you've got on screen is actually in focus.
Well, Michael, I did a live shop with me from an antique store, and you can relate to this because I know you've done several on Instagram, but I was trying to interact with the viewers, and there was this shelf that was crowded. I mean, the person had packed it so full you couldn't move anything, and it was all glass. And I picked up this apple that I thought was taped, and the lid was not taped on, and luckily it didn't break, but it went crash really loudly, and everyone in the chat was all worried, and the manager came over, and I was so mortified.
But it was an interesting live.
That's true.
You kept them entertained.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that is a talent. Videoing while you're shopping that's a talent.
Yeah, it really is. Well, and AJ said something. I saw Erin was here. Hi, Erin. Erin does have spectacular photos that she posts on Instagram for her things, and that is not my strong point. My photography is horrible. It's horrible. I can't take a good picture to save my life.
You still list anything, Misty?
No, but I mean, I think it's important for you to take a picture of something that you're like, if you're going to have a live sale, to post a picture of it on Instagram. But I did list something. I did list something. I listed that McCoy stretch lion. And normally if I'm going to list, I like to have Mark take pictures for me because he takes really good pictures and I don't. And he was like, that picture that you posted was horrible. And it was. There was like shadows behind it. And I was like, I'm not good at taking pictures. I think that you have to be patient and particular to take good pictures. And I'm neither one of those things.
Sometimes it takes me about 40 pictures of something before I feel like I've gotten it right. I guess it's the perfectionist in me.
Wow.
But I'm always like moving one thing and I'm like, okay, the light's not right here. And then I'll move it an inch that way. I mean, I probably spend way too much time on it. But
I'm the opposite. I'm like, that's good. Okay. That's
about the same, Misty.
That's good. It's a white background. That's good.
I think that's a really important thing though, Daniel.
I do too. I was just going to address that. Yeah. Go ahead, Michael.
It's like anything in life. If you're forcing yourself to do it, then what really ultimately is the point of doing it? Especially if you're on YouTube, it comes across to the people that you're viewing and it's kind of like, oh, well, they're really not into it. Well, how as a viewer then are you supposed to connect with them? So if it's not your thing and you're not going to enjoy it, don't do it. You got to be your true authentic self, like especially on YouTube. So
yeah, I absolutely. And Daniel is a joy to watch. So if you're not subscribed to Daniel's channel, subscribe to his channel. I love him. He is so much fun. And he is authentic and he is who he says he is. He's authentic and just a really great guy. LaDonna, how do you feel about subscribers tagging you on their thrift finds? I don't mind. I like to see it.
What does that mean?
Like if they're at the thrift store.
We're going to talk about Instagram.
On Instagram?
On Instagram.
Oh,
on Instagram.
I don't mind that. That's actually, isn't that like good advertising?
Yeah.
I think that's flattering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I really love it when people like take a picture of how they've displayed something they bought from me.
Oh yeah. I like seeing those.
That honestly is a really great compliment. I mean, for us to see how you've use something that we like, you're giving it a new life again. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend that you do that because it's just fun to see. It's just fun to see.
Because I have ideas of how I think somebody's going to use something, but like it's always better whenever I see somebody else actually do it and then incorporate it with their style. And it's like always a slightly different take than I would have came up with myself anyway. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to see how people like this. I got this potato chip tin and I put tulips in it, you know. But
You need to make them higher.
I know. I just stuck them in there, Jeffrey. But it's fun to see, you know, what people do. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. And then you're like, why did I sell that? I wish I had that now.
Some people have some really creative ideas, and it's fun to see it. And I love too when people tag you in something because they thought it reminded you of them.
Yeah.
You know, like people tagging me in records. I love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I think that's great too. So Julia, Perfecting Pearls, what is something that you are looking for in your own collection? I collect so many things.
What?
Just one thing?
I have many collections. I like my babies. That's like a new collection.
Then without getting too naughty now, everybody. Katie and Jeffrey, do you guys search eBay for things for your own personal collection?
Oh yeah.
All the time.
I have a saved search for Will George. I'm trying to find a Will George Wings Up Flamingo, but they go for a lot of money. So it's like, I'm trying to find like a sleeper, like somebody that's, I don't know, that's not going to happen. Or I can find it locally and pay only a couple hundred or a few hundred, but it's probably going to, if it comes up, it's probably going to go for every bit of $500 or $600.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Katie? What was the last thing that you like searched or saved?
Well, the last thing that I actually found, and I was really excited about it, it's been a grail for me for a long time, is a very early Typewriter Tent. It's one of the first ones. It was before they made tall tins and the round tins. They're actually flat boxes. So it was before the ribbons were on spools. And they go for like thousands. And I found one from a guy that was listing it as a watercolor box. It said cute watercolor box for your paints. And he had actually magnetized little watercolor palettes inside. And I found it for $10. And
Katie said, yes, I'll buy that cute watercolor tin. Sure, I will. Just what I was looking for.
And you're like, do you have a brush to go with it, dear?
I mean, that's amazing, but I'm always looking. There's a few rare advertising tins I'd like, but I'm watching a few on eBay now that are up to $300, and there's no way for a little tin, but I can dream.
Well, and to get the advertisement tins, it's like, okay, I was showing this one to Katie earlier. I've got this Victory brand potato chips.
Oh.
And this was something that my dad had found years ago. I would not be able to afford this right now. So it's like if you have things from like 20 years ago or 40 years ago, then it's just great because you're like, that is so popular right now. I wouldn't be able to afford that right now. So it's nice to have those things from relatives and things that have been passed down to you.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Advice on how to choose a YouTube name. What do you guys think?
Well, I think you should go with your instincts. I mean, it is your business, and it depends on how far you're going to take it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to have like an eBay store eventually, or are you trying to make a whole brand out of it? Mm-hmm. I think it matters to a degree, but
I think it's important.
Very personal.
Yeah, I think it's important to have it something to do with what you are. You know what I mean? Like, I like kitschy things, and I like to go thrifting, and I like to go junking, and so it kind of works for me. I wouldn't want to have my channel be Misty's channel or Misty's day, because it has nothing really to do. It's not giving somebody an idea of what my brand is. So
mine's very simple. It's vintage and vinyl, but that's exactly what I talk about on my channel. And I think sometimes just being simplistic and embodying you and what you love is important. I think sometimes for me, some of those really, really long names that are like
Thrifter, junker, vintage hunter.
Well, like,
I didn't think about that when I came up with my name.
special sugar collectibles, YouTube something or another. I think it's
Incorporated.
it's too long, so maybe shorten it. Although with Misty's channel, it's such a clever, catchy name, same with Jeffrey and Michael, like you remember the name. And I think that's important too.
It took me a long time to remember Misty's name, to be honest. But once I got it, I got it.
A lot. And then now it just rolls off.
It's a tongue
Yeah, it
twister.
just rolls off.
Yeah.
No, it's brilliant. That's a smart name because you got like all them tags in your name and you know it.
Well, that's the thing though, too. I think we're speaking about tags again. If you're searching on YouTube and someone's like, I want to watch thrifting videos, and they start typing in thrifting, well, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter may pop up in that, or vintage anything. It's going to pop up. But I do think it's very important, and it isn't very expensive to go on, if you are, realniftyvintage.com, to own that domain. If it's something
like $15.
Yeah, it isn't very expensive. Yeah. You can go and to own that domain, so you can be realniftyvintage.com or, thrifterjunkervintagehunter.com.
Do you own that, Misty?
I do.
You own the abbreviation?
No.
But that's hard to find. I bet it's probably really expensive.
I don't know.
What is TJVH?
Yeah. T.
Thrifter,
TJVH. Yes.
Yep.
Michael, what do you collect? Sandra wants to know.
I mean, I think that the things that I'm most attracted to are going to be like Austrian ceramics and pottery, more so out of an Art Nouveau. Again, if it says royal and it's from Austria, Royal Ducks, Royal Bayreuth, those are like, but I do like French opalescent Sabino glass. I do have a pretty healthy collection of that. But I like Art Nouveau mostly. It started Art Deco, but then I started to go more and more Art Nouveau. I just like a very intricate, I like the artistry, the sculpt of those. I appreciate those, the detail, but everything.
Oh, he likes a good rimple, and he likes a good kitschy. He likes a good mermaid from time to time too. Do you worry that sales might drop when people are able to get out more? Jeffrey, what do you think about that?
Well, they might not. I don't worry about it. So let's see. Let me use my brain. I think that maybe some people will, and they'll like drop off a little bit, but I think other people will come in new that couldn't before maybe, and it's just kind of like a cycle. And I think that it'll just sort of replenish itself. Like some people maybe go away a little bit, some new people come in, maybe those other people come back. It could just be like a cycle. That's what I think. So, yep. Yeah. And it's kind of like, what are we at? Like HSN QVC? They've always been popular. Always.
Yeah.
It's the personality and you get to see the thing, you get to be a part of it.
Well, and I think that is an important thing too, if you are having a live sale, is to make your live sale lively. And I know for me, if I'm standing, I'm much more lively. If I'm sitting, I'm much more
deadly. Yeah.
But if I'm standing and I talk with my hand, I think being animated and being excited, but not like right. I think
calm down.
It's authentic for me because I thoroughly am excited about some of the things that I buy, the things that I like. So, I think that you want to watch, you want to watch, who would you want to watch? And think about that when you're having a live sale. So I'm going back to see.
I don't know. I just get easily excitable. Like when I'm in the moment, it's easy to get like on like a I guess a high or something, however you want to say it. Like you get yourself excited and then it makes you more excited. And then
it makes your viewers excited too. Your passion comes through on screen.
Yeah.
People are instantly, like, even if it's not something that they personally collect, if you're like, oh man, this is awesome, people are like, wow, I might want that too now.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that you need to sell it. You need to make them want it. Like they have to have it. And that's, I don't know. I think that's fun to do. I like seeing other people get excited over the things that I'm showing them too.
I didn't have coffee my last sale. So if you liked me then, that was drug-free, Jeffrey.
Well, and by drugs, he's talking about his caffeine.
Caffeine. No, just straight up coffee.
You're not doing the caffeine pills anymore?
No. Well, I do them in the morning. I have to knock the migraines out before they come. But the if I'm doing like a sale or something, I've actually learned to just take a little nap because that's really what I need. So that's what I did the last time I had a sale. And I was good. I was really good. And I don't like taking caffeine or any sort of coffee too late because I can't sleep then. So.
Yeah. You have to just find out what works for you. I cannot take a nap. If I took a nap before, I would be like, no one would want to see that.
Well, you take 15 minutes. Like you don't actually like really,
do that.
You just rest. Like you mentally shut down for a bit. Like your brain kind of flutters into like a half dream state. That's all I can tend to really.
Jeffrey, how old are you?
31.
But he's an old man though.
What?
You're going to get to an age where there's no such, let me just rest. That's how I'm just going to rest. Everybody down in the comments that's over 40 is like, rest my eyes means something else when you get to a certain age. That means you're passed out for the next 3 hours and you wake up like, what?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'll take whatever I can get. I'm just saying
Something
that's what
to.
I'll take it. It's just, that's what I need to do. And that's a natural way to go about it rather than caffeine.
That's right, Jamie.
I like caffeine. I like the caffeine. I like the caffeine. Okay. Let's see. I'm like so far behind on the Friday night sales. I liked having my sale on Friday night. I'm not going to lie. I liked it when Jeffrey and I switched.
Jeffrey gets a lot of eyes on them sales.
I was very nervous though, because I do feel nice and safe and secure in my little Wednesday at 1:00. And then you're going on like when everyone's off of work, you're like, oh, I don't know. I was so nervous that night, but it was fun seeing different people that I don't normally get to see at my sales. Oh, Yvonne's she's just our little cheerleader. Jeffrey's sales are so late, everyone's home. Yeah, that's the nice thing about having that. But when I was trying to decide when I wanted to have my sales, I wanted to free up my Fridays and I wanted to free up my weekends basically.
And I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about, I want to be on whenever they got home from work, they have something fun to watch. They just got paid.
Right.
It all helps.
Yeah.
But then that kind of bites me, just like she said, like my weekends are work. So,
I mean, you gotta get out all those invoices then over the weekend, but you're very fast, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, when I have my own business, so my weekend can be Monday and Tuesday if I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, Vinny, if you want, I don't think that you are, but try standing up. Go in a different spot.
Do some jumping jacks first.
You know what? But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being quote unquote monotone. If that's who you are, yeah. You can't. Don't fake being something that you're not, because then people are going to be like, you don't. If you're monotone, so what? There's way worse in life to be than monotone. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to be genuine in who you truly are, and I'm usually loud and have a lot of energy.
Just be unapologetically yourself, and that will come through, and people will find you, and they'll like that.
Oh, thank you, Toledo. Now, Toledo, he's just started on his YouTube journey. He's been doing things on Instagram for a while, and I think he's just recently kind of came over and started a YouTube channel. So Toledo Antique. How did you get into buying and selling antiques? Katie, what about you?
I've loved antiques since I was young. My mom would actually take us down to the Fernandina Shrimp Festival, and they had what we call Antique Row, and it was basically just a very long row at the end of all these artists that had booths, and it was just full of antiques. And I fell in love with Coca-Cola, and I would always go looking for Coca-Cola bottles or old vintage rings, and I just thought it was so cool. And my mom loved antiques too, and we just kind of got into it together, doing things, and ever since I've collected it. Now my brother, not so much, but I really love that, and I've just been collecting things ever since.
Jeffrey?
Oh, well, it's a long, I mean, I don't really want to. I'll give you so what was the question?
How when did you start getting into buying and selling antiques?
I'm only like that because I just did like a live the other day, and I went into like this deep, long story that nobody asks for. So
the abbreviated version.
Okay, so like I've always enjoyed vintage things. So like in high school, I go to flea markets, and I would get old rotary phones. I watched I Love Lucy all the time, and I really enjoyed like chrome toasters in the 50s, and I would have like, you know, all this stuff in my room, and I liked old stuff. So I don't know where it started, and I went to yard sales whenever I was really young, like 7, 8, and not sure other than that. And then the reselling thing was sort of was an accident. So that wasn't even, I didn't even know you could make money reselling. I had no clue. I was at an auction that Aaron's family was having, and there was a few things that they were holding up that were like $1 and $2, and I'm like, but that's worth like $15 and $20, and I didn't know I was gonna sell it. I was just like, I can't see it go for that, so I bought it, and then I had it in the house for a while, and I eventually listed it on Etsy, and I sold it, and that kind of confirmed my suspicions, and I got bit by the bug because I'm like, wait a minute, people are undervaluing these things, and I know the truth. So I can do something with that, and I did.
And you wanted to have your own business, and you know, and I think that
yes, well, yeah, and I worked full time, and I did this on the side.
Yeah, and that's hard. That is hard. I think if you work another job full time like Michael does, and then you resell on the side, that is I think you're working way harder than us, because you're like, you have two different worlds, you know, like you have, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, yeah. And my work was entirely different though. And I think I was just really sick of what I was doing. So like I needed something else, and I needed that like break, that even though it was work, but I enjoyed it. And I still do. I don't see it as work, even though I work a ton, but it doesn't feel like it. Nope. So it's fine. I wasn't making very much money. I mean, on the side, like maybe, and it like changes. So like maybe it would be like my first month, $200, my next month, like $300, like it was like that. And then it would be like $500, $600. And then I was thinking, well, if I just work X amount percentage harder and list this amount of things more, then I should be able to scale that up to a degree that would take over what I need to make for a living. And I just took a chance, and it worked.
Michael?
Next.
Oh, I guess for me, the idea of buying stuff, it very much was my grandparents on my father's side. I mean, I would go up there every weekend and every Sunday. You know, it was just, I mean, I did that till I was in my 20s, but we would go to the flea market every single Sunday. We would go to 2 flea markets. So that was just very ingrained in me. My grandfather was definitely a huge collector of a variety of different things, and my grandmother to a lesser extent. And they are just people that meant a great deal to me. So it is just, a lot of it stems from nostalgia and a a continued connection with them. So far as the reselling, that's totally Misty and Jocelyn's fault. Didn't plan on it. I wasn't gonna do. I wanted to do Instagram and I wanted to have fun with it, like, but the whole idea of like, oh, I'm gonna be a reseller, no.
Well, but you're captivating though. You have, I mean, you're in sales, you're in retail, so I mean, you have that. You have that skill, and that's a skill. I mean, it's a skill definitely that you can use for for reselling, because the importance of, the way things need to look in photos and stuff like that. So you have that mindset. So I think you're natural at it.
You are, Michael.
You are. Thank you. But it was not on my radar.
My answer is I didn't know that there was anything else I thought everybody did this because I've done this. I mean, I've been around this since I was an infant. I thought everybody bought and sold antiques. I mean, my dad and my mom did it. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked at General Motors, and they did this. He did this on the side. But I grew up thinking that everybody did this. It just wasn't. It was a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always swore I wasn't going to do it. Because I grew to hate yard sales and flea markets and auctions. I hated them because I had to go to them as a child. And it was always look with your eyes, not with your hands. And I was a very touchy child. I wanted to touch everything. I'm still
really?
I know it's hard to believe. but I like this stuff. I mean, I've always been surrounded by all of this stuff, and it's normal for me. It's a normal thing for me. Mr. L. Page, let's speak on the benefits of partnering with someone to lighten the mood and carry the entertainment of chat, but artfully steering back to the points of the sale. I like doing the joint sales myself.
I think the joint sales are fun and adds a whole different element to things. It's just neat to see different people on the screen with different items and different techniques, and just the conversation's always fun.
Well, on our Tuesday sales, the whole point of that, we wanted it to be where we're like talking like this and we're just hanging out. We're selling some things. We wanted to sell like 10 things, but then we're so I think as long as if you're having a live sale and you have those parameters, like, because we tried selling 15 things each and it was, oh my God, it was so long. And you could tell our energy was dying there at the end.
And this water bottle, it's $10. Okay.
Well, in fact, as soon as we were done, I think the first words out of all of our mouths was no 15 items. No. So I think that it's good. I think it's good to try to stay on track. Some of us and I'm one of those people, we get we go over here when we're supposed to be here. So I think that that's important to do. I like doing a joint sale. I think it's a lot of fun. It doesn't seem as pressured. It's more relaxed.
And you get a break in between. For me, I found that I can now write down the person's name that won the item and get the next item together. And it's just a little easier.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So Daniel says, do you think a newbie should try some live chats to get used to being live before tackling a live sale? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I did YouTube for almost 2 years before I had a live sale.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think it's so important to build an audience before you jump into having a live sale, because you're going to get discouraged probably. And
like, to only start a YouTube just to sell things, and if it doesn't work, well, that's a lot to put on one thing.
You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself too. I think.
Yeah.
I think that you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But I think that doing live chats, absolutely. If you feel afraid, Daniel, I'll go live with you. You just got to email me. You just invite me, Daniel. I'll go live with you. if depending on when it is, because I don't like to work at night, but I will every once in a while. But yeah, I think if you go on live with a couple of your friends and just do what we're doing, just chat. I think that the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become.
Were you guys nervous for your first sale?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, have you watched some of our first YouTube videos?
Sale though, my first sale was a Beanie Baby sale.
It was. I can't. I so remember. I was like, for real. He's an Beanie Baby sale.
Well, I was dipping my toes in, and I was like, well, this will be really easy to ship. I just throw it all in poly bags, which I did. And I was thinking, well, I don't know if people are going to want to spend a lot, so everything was $3 each. And
with that,
what?
It wasn't that long ago then, or did you have another Beanie Baby sale?
It was about a year ago. A little over a year ago.
Oh my God, that was your first one?
Yeah, that was before I bought that building, and I was in the dining room still doing the live sales. Yeah.
That seems like just yesterday though, too.
In some regards, yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yesterday.
I'm trying to go back up here. Yeah, Michelle, do people ever do a recorded video? Everything seems to be doing live. Well, live hauls are definitely a lot easier to do.
They are.
You're done. You do it and you're done.
I will say it's nice to interact with your viewers and have opinions and get to talk to them in real time. There's something really special about doing a live that way, I think. And I found for me with the Jell-O videos that I have been doing, when I do the cooking ones that are pre-recorded, it's not as fun as being able to get people's real-time comments.
Right.
About like, oh, that looks really awful. Oh, I can't believe you're putting that in there,
Yeah, I highly recommend you go back and you go back because you can search on a YouTube channel's content. You can go back and see their earlier videos and just see. I mean, we all started somewhere. Every single one of us had that very first video. We had that very first sale. And I mean, my first live sales they were not, I first started doing my live sales and I was like, the first person to email me will win the item. Email me.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was hard to keep track of.
So you didn't even know if you were selling the stuff.
I didn't even know. No, I didn't know. But I was figuring it out. And I think that's important. You were going to figure things out and you're going to know what works and what doesn't. Everybody does things different on their live sales. And I think as viewers, you just need to kind of understand that it's not the same across the board. Everybody has a different business and they have a different way of doing things. And
I kind of like doing my haul videos live.
I do too.
They're like, I don't know, they're not my favorite video to film. But it's better. It's fun. It's more fun whenever I can like interact at the same time. Plus they honestly don't do very well. They don't get as many views to begin with. So I figure, well, if I'm going to do the work of doing a haul video, not have as much fun as a shop along, I might as well make it live. And then I can like talk to people while I'm doing it. I need to do that more.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's getting people, it's kind of breaking that veil a little bit and you're being your authentic self with your viewers. And I think that people appreciate that. They're getting to know who you are, warts and all, when you go live, because you can't edit anything out.
Exactly.
So I think that is important. Premiere videos are fun. You know what, Patrick, that's a really good point. That is one way too that you can definitely interact with your viewers is doing a live premiere. And I tell you what, when you do those live premieres, your views will go, you'll get a lot of views all at once. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if people know that they can interact with you in the chat, even if it's just, through written word, it's a way to get views on your video. So, or if you struggle talking live,
I
you
just
know.
got rid of the premieres recently because, I do record content too. And I find that most of my audience is coming from the vintage community. So they're not always as keen on the record videos, which is totally fine. But I found that when I did the premiere, there was actually people from our community that we see every day in the chats watching. They're like, oh, that was interesting. I didn't know about colored vinyl. And now people are interested maybe in colored vinyl. So I think premieres are really a fun tool to try.
I think so too.
I could never figure them out, so I don't do them.
Okay.
Well, I think the premieres and the
can
lives,
go
I
to
think a lot of it
school,
is
different.
true.
Yeah.
It's not just about, I think Katie's example is a really good example, is that it's not, okay, so maybe they're not interested in vinyl, but what they are interested in being in chat with Katie and being in that community and in that community and chatting with one another. So that brings them there and maybe they learn something new and that's a bonus. But it does definitely bring eyes to your videos.
Yep, it's a way of letting, like, kind of breaking that veil, I guess. Nancy, I like making videos, but my editing skills are not up to my idea level. Neither are mine, Nancy. I didn't edit any of my videos in the beginning. I didn't know how. And I watched YouTube videos on how to edit your videos using a specific software. And you can watch a YouTube video on anything, how to anything. I kind of enjoy editing, but it takes me about an hour to edit a 20-minute video all together. And I don't want to over edit. I think it's important not to over edit. You need to be your authentic self. I'm not out to win an Academy Award for videography. You know what I mean? That's not my goal. But if that's something that you enjoy, then absolutely do it. But I don't want to spend. I want to sell things. I don't want to necessarily spend all my day editing a video. Okay, we've got about 8 more minutes, because we're going to be done at 10 because that's Misty's bedtime. Misty goes night. Oh, hi, Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
She's always telling everyone thumbs up.
Yeah.
Virginia, I agree. When Misty told me she was doing that, I thought that was such an innovative, fun, interactive. I just thought that was such a great idea.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I really am, because there are things that you all are picking that I overlook because I'm like, I don't think anybody will want that. I'm having that doubt. But then I'm showing it and you're like, everyone's like, oh, that. But then I just hope that those people show up at my sale. That's the only caveat, is you want, if you're going to pick things, and make sure you come to my sale and get those things. But it is fun. It's fun. And it does help me a lot.
Misty, we were talking about Jolene's question kind of the other day.
Where's Jolene's question?
About the next thing to look for. We were just talking about, we think that maybe it's time for certain things to come back.
Yeah. Milk glass, antique milk glass. Carnival glass.
Really? You want antique milk glass?
I'm not saying that I want it to come back.
Oh.
I'm just saying that I think that it is going to come back.
Yeah.
Carnival glass, like the legit Carnival glass.
I think crystal clear, and I think silver.
Yep.
And I think silver because it's been so long, and we've been in a brass attack for like 5 years now, probably longer. I haven't really thought about it, but it's been a while. We've all been in that like kind of 60s, 70s brass gold era. And it's like, maybe it's time to refine a little bit. So we'll see.
I think so too. Brooches, I think, are definitely on the rise. Especially sterling silver brooches, right, Jeffrey? he had a good brooch sale. He had a good brooch sale.
George says, yeah, right there, the stuff from the 80s. And that's kind of what I was thinking, because the stuff in the 80s was your depression glass, your milk glass, like all these things, like that was really hot then, clear. So
Clear
Carnival-
vinyl, I mean,
Yes.
gets bad rap, but I think people are going to realize it goes with pretty much everything in your house, and it's gorgeous. So hopefully it comes back.
Carnival Glass. I like the old Carnival Glass. I'm not really, honestly, a fan of like the 60s, 70s stuff. I like the 20s,
Oh, I mean,
30s, teens.
yeah. And Jocelyn just bought a ton of Carnival Glass, so I think that she's really hoping. Yes, Carnival Glass tomorrow is going to be the most popular thing. Custard glass. I like custard. Green depression glass has been like everybody wants green depression. I love Vaseline glass. That's the uranium glass that I like. It glows so much more brilliantly, I think.
I don't know I can't say for sure, but what I want to come back is hand painted glass. Oh shoot! And I want hand painted glass, nuts and berries. I can't remember what else. It's just on the tip of my tongue.
Like Fenton? What do you mean hand painted glass?
No, more of like the Italian. So you'll see it's very floral, almost enameled.
Okay.
Typically like brandy snifters, like a lot of amber green or Bristol glass was what I was thinking too. I want Bristol glass to come back. There's such a beauty and a refinement to it. And again, there's an artistry. I want things that have artistry. Yeah. I don't want mass produced stuff.
Like handmade baskets.
Yes. People used their hands and took the time. Bohemian glass. Yes.
Well, and I think a lot of people, though, Michael, a lot of people may not be fully aware of what Bristol glass is. So maybe it's something that needs to be, brought back into the forefront. But yeah, Bohemian and Empoli. Now, the Empoli glass has been pretty popular, though. It's
hand blown glass.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was watching something. Blown glass people from Murano, like that's like a dying breed. Like it takes so long to become a master of working with your hands. Many of these people back in the day started whenever they were in their teens and younger, and now they're not starting until much later, and it takes them much longer to become a master at what they're doing. Right. So the quality isn't like up there, and it's a hard job. Like,
and that is not that Murano, one of the artisans, they're not like factories. They literally have dirt and stone floors. Like they're not pumping these things out because it's an artisan trade.
Yeah, it's not
what we're calling it
to come in and
the nouveau modern 80s.
I hope not country primitive.
No country primitive. No.
Are you talking about like Boyd's Bears
style?
Well, the thing is with Boyd's Bears, I mean, some people really like them, and that's okay, but they were so mass produced. So I just tend to like the things that there's only a handful of them out there, maybe.
And I think maybe wooden furniture is going to start coming back.
Oh gosh, I hope.
I was thinking wicker from the 80s. Wicker, like very Golden Girls.
Yeah, well, and Victorian wicker, I think, is really nice. And Victorian bamboo pieces, which
Victorian, that's another one. I'm expecting Victorian to come around.
All that cottage core stuff is kind of Victorian.
Yeah. I want to see like mahogany. I want to see dark woods coming back, not painted stuff.
I'm currently researching glass because I'm so Aaron, me too. Listen, I've been around this stuff my whole life, but glass, I've always liked the kitschy things and the fun little figures, and I'm learning glass, and I cannot remember a pattern to save my life. I just can't. I don't
think that's ever going to go out of style. Like the kids, there's just something so endearing about it, irregardless. And it was made to be endearing, so I don't think that's ever going to go away.
Yeah. And
harder to get, but not going away.
What was the original kitsch? Like before the 30s, 40s, 50s, like what was before that? Was there a kitsch before?
I don't think there's always tchotchkes, but
was it just folk art? Large?
Go ahead.
No, well, like the postcard that I just got from you, Jeffrey, you could consider that kitsch, but from our own state, I mean, you've got this girl,
and that was like 1915.
I don't consider that kitsch.
But see, for them, it would have been kitschy.
Yeah.
For us, we view it as something else. But I think for them in that period of
Misty,
time,
that
they
is
would have viewed
kitsch.
it.
I see that as being Victorian.
Exactly.
It's Victorian, but it's Victorian kitsch.
Yeah,
I think,
like that's not like proper and prim, like a Victorian.
Yes,
right.
it is.
Oh, come on, Misty. Did you ever see
The hat.
Misty, people wearing dresses because they want to like hide their stuff and stuff, and you got a baby popping out of an egg.
It's cracking up.
This is kitsch.
Get over yourself. That is kitsch too.
This
But
is
the question was, was there a kitsch? Was there something that predated what?
Well, here, this is what-
like the 40s, 50s kitsch.
there
Both
was
our
kitsch in the
images of
1910s.
Right.
Well, there you go. You were right, Jeffrey.
Well, I think that kitsch changes because if you were to say kitsch of the 70s, 80s, it's all going to be slightly different. It's not going to be the same exact thing from like 1950s Japan.
That mod,
Yeah.
True.
bright colors, psychedelic-y.
I like anthropomorphic. To me, that's kitsch.
Well, that's one variant of it, Misty. You
Well,
need to
that's
have an
the
open
variant
mind.
that I like.
Like the corns with the faces. I think those are hilarious.
Yes, you put
You
a,
like the
Gangland.
40s,
put a
50s.
face on a on a cucumber, and it's great. Not just a plain old cucumber; it's a cucumber with a face.
And a story that comes to life.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think it has to have cartoon eyes to be kitsch.
No, it doesn't have to have cartoon eyes to be kitsch, but that's the good kitsch in my opinion.
It just makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, ephemera. Ephemera is a fancy word for paper. Pretty paper goods. It's fancy.
Schmancy.
Is there an
You just
auction union or school it requires you to pay for having?
Oh, well,
Yes.
No.
There is in
depends on what
Pennsylvania.
state. Depends on what state you're in. There's different rules for different.
If you're an auctioneer, yeah.
Right. I'm not.
Yeah, you have to be an
and-
auctioneer here in Florida to do anything related to auctioneers. And I think that even if you're on screen with another person, you also have to, I believe in Florida, have to have a license as well if you're doing anything related to the sale. That's what I've heard, but I'm not.
Well, I deep dived into it for Illinois, and if it's your own stuff, you don't need an auctioneer's license because you're allowed to sell your own stuff. So
Interesting.
I have that actually like linked up in my live sale descriptions just for anybody who's very curious.
Yes, D. I do use the word ephemera. I would definitely use ephemera in a listing on eBay. Ephemera is a key word right now.
I like what's his name? George. I like what George said. Poor taste is the defining thing for kitsch of any era.
Trashy.
Yeah.
Tacky.
Didn't we have, that's what we were discussing. When did kitschy become tacky? And what, do you remember we were having that?
Tacky is good though, Michael.
No, but I'm saying, I think that there was a time when they called it, when it was kitschy, and then all of a sudden it became tacky.
Well, anything can be tacky to the person that doesn't like it.
True enough.
I think in the 50s, there was a big mentality of everything being American made and that being important. And my grandmother will tell you that she remembers going to the store and picking up something that said made in Japan, where now we value those things. That's awesome. But she would pick up things that were made in Japan and say, that's made in Japan. It's not made in USA. We don't want it. And now there's a whole different mentality to that. Everybody wants the made in Japan things because they're awesome.
I'll show it.
Ugh.
Right?
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow.
That's trash.
Are they dancing? Are they dancing in the field?
It's just,
I know.
It's just a bunny head on a stick.
On a stick.
On a steak.
I mean, how?
I love that.
It's trashy. I mean, it is. It is. And I was like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever.
You know that song, I like my antiques a little on the trashy side. You know that song, I like my girls? on the trashy side.
Oh.
I love my kitschy just a little on the trashy side. I just before we go, I saw D. Yes. The thing of it is with ephemera, if someone is searching for it, they're probably looking for ephemera because they're looking for something to do junk journals with, or it is a word that someone that's specifically wanting to buy ephemera will
Isn't that what you call, like, if you have like a whole bunch of something that's illegal? Oh no, that's paraphernalia. Never mind.
No. It's like no.
I would argue that people that are searching with the word ephemera are going to be willing to spend more. And I would agree with Dagny that too, using anthropomorphic, the people that are searching with the word anthropomorphic are going to be the ones that are the collectors. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be willing to shell out a little bit more. So
yep, absolutely. Trashtastic.
The best, the very best.
All right. So we're going to say our goodbyes. It's 10:06. Misty is getting to her bedtime because Misty likes to wake up a little early. So thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it. This is just so fun because it's very much a way for us to like just get, see what our viewers, what's in their minds, because we don't always know. So I think that this is fun. And if you make sure that you are subscribed to Katie's channel, Vintage and Vinyl, I will link everyone's channel and Michael's Instagram account in the video when it goes live. So make sure that you're subscribed to Katie. She does wonderful, fun videos. She goes live a lot and does hangouts. Make sure that you are subscribed to Jeffrey, Real Nifty Vintage. Jeffrey is our Jeffrey, and we all love him. And Michael is he's on YouTube. He doesn't have any content yet, but make sure that you follow him on Instagram. And all of us have Instagram accounts as well. So make sure that you do follow us on Instagram. I have these every Monday night at 8:00. Michael will always be my co-pilot. Katie and Jeffrey will definitely be on again. But next week we will have we're going to have some California girls on next week. That's the only next week. But thank you so much. And make sure that you go in, if you have a YouTube channel or you have something that you want to get out there, you can put that in the comments of the video when this goes up. And thank you for watching. This was fun.
Lots of
always a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Good night.
friends.